Israeli warplanes struck targets in southern Gaza today as Israel expands its ground offensive into the enclave.
Yeah, Israel's military is now ordering additional evacuations in the Gaza Strip. This after fighting resumed in the region following that week-long ceasefire. Israeli forces turning their focus from the north to the south of Gaza, where hundreds of thousands of Palestinians had moved to seek shelter, relative safety after the start of the war. The Gaza Health Ministry, which is run by Hamas, says more than 15,000 people have been killed inside the Gaza Strip since the hostilities began. Tens of thousands more have been wounded. CBS News and no other organization has been able to confirm those numbers. The UN, meanwhile, estimates that around 1.8 million Palestinians in Gaza have been displaced by the fighting. Our Lilia Luciano joins us now from London, where she is after spending 2 weeks of reporting out of Israel. I'm curious, Lilia, as you gather yourself, having come out of the region, as you hear that the IDF is advising people in the south of Gaza to find new safe zones, one wonders where might there be a safe zone, given that they were told when they were in the north that wasn't safe. What are you hearing?
You're right, Tony. That has continued happening over the last, several days since the fighting resumed, but it started even before that. The IDF has turned towards the south, as you said, but it hasn't stopped bombings in the north and all across the territory. We're hearing today from our producer on the ground, Marwan Al-Ghul, that last night was an extremely bloody night, that there were strikes all across Gaza. Some of the latest reporting has been that there were at least 50 people killed in northern Gaza in a couple of schools that were targeted. And as you said, in the south, the IDF has been saying, look, we're looking for these Hamas targets and focusing the attacks there. But Khan Yunis, which is a city that had so many of the displaced people from across the territory in shelters, in camps, is now also some parts of it under attack. The IDF had said under the pressure of the United States that they would designate a series of not safe, because you can't really call it safe, but areas that are outside of the line of fire. But that has proven to be extremely confusing for people. They have some received phone calls from the IDF, some had been receiving those leaflets, but even people in Gaza have been reporting that it's very hard to understand the maps or what zones are supposed to be safe, especially as places like Khan Yunis, where so many displaced people are now being targeted. So how people are going to be outside of the line of fire, of course, is something that is extremely, extremely difficult. There have been what are called unusual bombings, more aggressive bombings, and the IDF and its leadership have been saying, look, we're moving and targeting these Hamas targets and focusing on them. But the reality is that people are having to camp out in the street if they're going to be outside of the places that are being struck. Some people are taking shelter or pitching tents in farmlands in the hopes that that's not somewhere where the IDF is going to be hitting. So it's confusing for the population that is in such dire need.
Meantime, Lilia, Israeli officials estimate 136 hostages remain in Gaza. So where do negotiations for their release stand now that the temporary ceasefire is over?
Well, negotiations, according to U.S. officials like John Kirby, who told NBC News yesterday, are halted right now. They're not happening. The U.S. is pressuring both sides and asking both sides to resume those negotiations. But what Kirby said is, look, Hamas is not wanting to continue the talks. They have women and children, and they refuse to give a list of women and children. They're offering different hostages, which are not under the first terms of that first deal that prioritized women and children. Kirby said, we know that they have women and children, and they're not basically offering to release those hostages. And so that's why the negotiations, according to U.S. and Israeli officials, are right now paused. There have been 110 so far hostages released, but there are still over 100. It's understood that might be or around 100 that might still be detained. And of the 110, 80 were part of that first deal. Remember that there are other hostages who were foreigners who don't take part in the original deal of women and children that were exchanged for 240 Palestinians held in Israeli jails. Where they are, we'll see.
All right. Our Lilia Luciano reporting from London for us. Lilia, thank you.
Thank you, Elaine.